Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are at the World Center of Speed Daytona International Raceway for the BRR Cup Series return. Although this season the Cup Series have gone Xfinity racing. The cars had different handling, better runs on super speedways, more challenging to drive, and a lot more fun as iRacing is updated, made them more accurate. These guys are having a lot more fun, so Xfinity cars it will be this season, and that promises to make for a lot of great racing, especially here at Daytona. Talking to the drivers during pre-race today, a lot of the comments are on how big the back spoiler is, how high the back end sits off the ground, and how hard it is to see past the car in front of you. Could make things very interesting here tonight. Let's see if we can get a look from inside Garmin's car here. And you can see once he slips right in behind Mark Nelson, there is very little space. There is not much you can see. Once you're in the pack, things get even more interesting. Brian Oshinska in the back of this pack. Let's see what it looks like from in his car. Obviously, we'll be riding around in the pack, but drivers talking when you get tucked up onto that back bumper, very hard to see much of anything. Harley Barletta, now they're spreading out three wide. Everybody I try and hop in the car with to show an example. Yeah, they. Good evening, Skyler. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Topher. That was the one I had, buddy. Huge shout out to Topher Baltimore, aka Fat Thor, who will be in race control all season long. I'm quite sure we'll be talking to Topher before the night is out. Looking for one driver in particular we're going to try and talk to. There he is in the Crown Royal car. That is the old school IROC paint scheme, come to think of it. I do believe it is. AJ Godsey, last season's champions in an old IROC paint scheme. Let's see if we can get a word with the champ. AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Alright, so you win the championship a few weeks ago. Now you're in a different car back at Daytona. How are you feeling about this car and this season?
I really like this car, Doug. I like it. I think the tire management side of it's going to be a lot more of an issue. These things wear out tires quite a bit. And as far as this track, I'm not looking forward to Daytona, really.
Well, I noticed you're driving an old school IROC paint scheme on the car tonight.
Yeah, me and Eric, we were in these last season at Talladega for the Xfinity race we did in BRR. So, yeah, I'll probably be rocking this a lot of the season. This out of the, 20, 30 paint schemes Eric's done for me already. This was probably my favorite one all time, so I'll be running it a lot.
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight. Congratulations on the championship, and let's see if you can survive to the finish.
Thanks, Doug. Hasn't been a good track for me in the past, but we'll see.
All right, buddy. Good luck. All right, that was AJ Godsey winning the championship last season. He had been in contention for championships literally every season. AJ was the creator of BRR and had been in contention for every championship since the first season, but had not won, had just missed it multiple times, and now he has that championship title. Race control actually out on track for a little bit of practice. There goes Topher Baltimore. But Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel is out on track now. The First Lady of BRR has come very close to winning on super speedways in the past. And last night came home with a third place finish in the trucks. Tonight could be the night that we talk to Nicole in victory lane. We have all been cheering for her to get that first win for a long time. It is going to be a big field tonight. Looking like so far about 27 drivers will be in the field, and the way Daytona and Talladega are, 27 may start this thing, but no telling how many of those will be left at the end. Saving the car to the end might be, look at this, they're 3 wide trying everything here. Eric Stoy in the other one, in the other IROC paint scheme, now stuck in the wall. Harley Barletta sporting a new hot copy paint scheme here tonight. Mark D'Antuma up on the high side, hops back down in line. Mark Nelson in this group, as well as Jared Heasley. You gotta love the paint scheme Jared has tonight. The old school logo, the paint scheme is beautiful. And a lot of guys trying a lot of different moves here in practice, seeing what they can get. The trucks were here, as we mentioned last night. Gerald Thanos Poole pulled off the win last night. Can he do it again tonight? Gerald, one you never count out on a super speedway. Just under 4 minutes left to go in practice. Then they'll go to qualifying. We'll try and take a look at all the drivers during qualifying. Take a moment and drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for here tonight. Make sure you run to the snack bar. Get something to eat. Get something to drink while you're standing in line. Hit that share button. Get your friends and family out to watch what promises to be an awesome race at Daytona. Under the lights at Daytona. Let's see if we can talk to race control just a little bit. Hey, Topher, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, you have a long night ahead race controlling at Daytona.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Having seen some of practice, and I know you were out on track for a little bit during practice, what are you going to be looking for the most, and what do you expect to see here tonight?
Honestly, I'm looking for people to keep it clean. Truck race last night got a little sketchy in some spots, as I was a victim in all 4 of them. Excuse me. So just making sure everybody's keeping it clean. That's really the big thing. New cars, new track. Well, not new track, but new cars. We've got a bunch of new drivers. We'll see how it goes.
Do you expect, from what you're seeing in practice, you expect to see patience early? I know a lot of drivers talking about hard to see once you're in line, and a group of them talking already about dropping off the back early.
Oh, I expect carnage.
So anarchy, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but I like it.
I was hoping you'd pick up on that one. Well, good luck, and keep us posted on what you hear in the race.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, will do.
Have fun, buddy.
Thank you too.
All right, Topher Baltimore up in the booth in race control tonight. As you heard, a little bit of chaos last night, a little bit of anarchy last night. I promise you, it's gonna be a little bit. There will be a little bit of anarchy. There's no way around it at Daytona. But from hearing the drivers talk during pre-race, I do expect a lot of patience and a lot more consideration of other drivers, at least in the early going. We get down to that last 10 laps, no telling what could happen. Kyle Holden currently the fastest on track. Quick look at the track info. 2.5 mile high banked Daytona International Speedway. Track temperature just 76 degrees. Won't be a huge issue for them. Air temperature 74. That ought to give the guys a little bit more room to do a little bit of drafting and not have to worry quite so much about the engines overheating. Cup cars last season, we saw a few overheat the engine, so they should be a little bit safer in the Xfinity cars. Coming down to the last few minutes of practice, that is the biggest pack in the on track right now. Greg McDaniel back there at the back. He was in championship contention right up till the end last season. Expect to see him in the fight again. Practice comes to a close. It's time for everybody to go out and qualify. Fully expect to see a few drivers not qualifying here tonight. A few drivers intentionally will start in the back, and the first one looks like to get rolling off pit road will be Harley Barletta. Newcomer to the group, Ian Ogden rolling off pit road. Richie West on his way off pit road. Greg McDaniel already on his way out. Eric Stoy rolling off pit road. Chris Parker on his way out. Brandon Springer. We haven't looked at Brandon's car yet, but I do not see the peanut butter deployment system. No peanut butter on this one. Gerald Poole said he ain't qualifying. It seemed to work last night. He got him into victory lane. Hopefully it will again tonight. Last season's champion, AJ Gotze, rolls off for qualifying. Mark Nelson on his way off pit road. Richie West getting ready to roll off pit road, trying to get a look at his car. Kevin Reed out on his qualifying run. Mike Smith having some problems getting off pit road. Save it, Mike. Kyle Holden coming around to start his first hot lap. William Mann Jr. out on his qualifying run after winning the Fun League Series Championship Thursday night, now out here looking to start another championship run. David Garman out on track. In the Ford again. We saw him in the season in a Chevy. Thought maybe he had learned the benefit of driving a Chevy, but obviously not. Jeff Hinkle out on his qualifying run. Vern Spring out on his qualifying run as well. Richie West, it looks like Richie's in a Ghostbusters car tonight. He has not been out to qualify, sitting at the end of pit road. And it looks like a large number of drivers. Oh, here comes Richie. Richie in the Ecto 1 tonight. Aaron Mason now rolling off pit road as well on his qualifying run. Don't forget, you still have time to get your food, get your drink. Gerald has time to go get another beer. And you have time to hit the share button before the green flag drops here tonight. It looks like quite a few drivers not taken to the track. Topher Baltimore is concerned about getting wrecked in race control. If you know Topher, you know that's a valid concern. Somebody will find a way to launch their car out over the stands into race control tower. My bet is on Kevin Reed. Just saying. Drivers who have not qualified yet: Austin Abel, Rick Sargent, Brian Oshinska, DJ Kenner, Nicole Kriesel, Mark Dantuma, William Mann Sr., Thanos, Gerald Poole, Jared Heasley, Matt Johnson. So a big group of them not qualifying here, wanting to play it safe in the early going. All right, it is time for the season opener from Daytona. Up front will be Mark Nelson and Vern Spring, Harley Barletta, AJ Godsey on the second row, Jeff Hinkle, Greg McDaniel on the third row, Kevin Reed, Brandon Springer on the fourth, Kyle Holden and Eric Stoy rounding out the top 10. David Garman in 11th, Aaron Mason in 12th, Ian Ogden in 13th, Mike Smith is 14th, Chris Parker 15th, and William Mann Jr. in 16th, DJ the Iceman Kenner 17th, Mark Dantuma in 18th, Rick Sargent 19th, Matt Johnson in 20th, 21st will be Richie West, Jared Heasley starts 22nd, Gerald Thanos Poole 23rd, Austin Habel in 24th. 25th will be William Mann Sr., Topher Baltimore in race control. Brian Oshinska 27th. Nicole, that's what she said, Kriesel in 28th. Expect her to be up front before long. Waiting on the drivers to roll off. Now's your chance to put into the comments your prediction. Who is going to win tonight? Let us know who you're cheering for. Let us know who is delivering oxygen to the broadcaster tonight. Just waiting on one or two more drivers to take to the grid, and then we'll go green flag racing. 80 laps around Daytona, 3 additional sets of tires. Tires will not be an issue. Fuel will be an issue. Here they come down pit road. Everybody gets out on the track for the 2.5 mile pace lap. Joe Poole calling this one for Thanos after Thanos winning the trucks last night. Could he go 2 in a row? Topher. All right, pace car leads them through 3 and 4. Topher Baltimore in race control takes a shot. He's probably going to need it. And me in the announcer's booth taking a big deep breath, because I promise you I am going to need it. Pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Daytona. The season opener of the BRR, formerly Cup, now Xfinity Series. I will probably get that wrong a few times this season. Off into turn number 1, side by side. Everybody takes a lap and a half to get up to speed here. Harley Barletta already pushing Mark Nelson out front, trying to find a way to the front. The front or the very back are the two safest places to be. And look at this. It looks like Nicole is already looking up to the high side. Nicole already starting to make her way forward. Down the front straightaway, back to the start-finish line. Harley Barletta leads lap number 1. With a big push from, I believe, Vern. Yeah, Vern Spring right behind, giving a big push. AJ Gotzi, Eric Stoy connected on the bottom. One of AJ's least favorite tracks here. We've seen him have terrible races here before. We've seen him have good races here before. But he's not a fan of this. Put him on a short track, though. He will dominate. And here they come. Harley Barletta still up at the front. Everybody side by side. Everybody now fully up to speed. These cars do move around a lot more than the Cup cars do in the draft. They also get bigger runs. They have more momentum. There's better opportunities to pass, but they are harder to drive, making all these drivers have to work for it here tonight. A couple of drivers already moving forward quite a bit. Matt Johnson started in 20th. He is up to 14th. And that's what she said. Nicole Kriesel on her way to the front started dead last, up to 21st. And I promise you there is nobody in this field that would be disappointed if Nicole finally got that win. We've been predicting it would come at Daytona or Talladega for a couple of seasons now. She is one of the best at working all the way through the field. Still too wide up at the front. Vern really giving Harley a push there. Jeff Hinkle, who was in the championship battle down to the last lap of the last race of the season. Jeff Hinkle currently running on the bottom, the second car in line on the bottom. That bottom line seems to not be trying anything. The guys up top keep looking like they are trying to find a hole. We could see 3 wide here before too long. Hopefully everybody settles into a rhythm early and has a little bit of patience, but you never know. Aaron Mason up 5 spots already, as is Mike Smith. Mike was out most of last season having to move and a lot of other things going on. But he is back in here. Look for him to be in contention at the end of the season as well. William Mann Jr. just won a championship in an Xfinity car at Talladega the other night. Thursday night, and now looking to, at the start of this new season, looking to try and get championship number 2. Just got an update too. This season we will see some more new cameras at the tracks, at the oval tracks, and new road course cameras coming as you get the in-car view from William Mann Jr. Cars moving around a whole lot on track. The smaller spoiler, less rear downforce. These cars have overall less downforce than the Cup car here. Is making things a bit interesting and a few close calls going on right now. The front two on the high side have got a little bit of a gap. That's Vern Spring, Harley Barletta right behind him though. Greg McDaniel building up a run. Will he go flying by up top? Getting word, Topher, we mentioned it in pre-race. Gerald Thanos Poole is on pit road. It looks like there might have been an issue. Off of turn 4. Oh, he had to duck down. He had a run and almost had a problem. Great save by Thanos. Did get an update. We made mention that Topher would need a shot of something before the start of this race. He's about a fifth deep right now. So he's good. Race control's just fine. Meanwhile, Jeff Hinkle has gotten past Mark Nelson, now is up front going for the lead for the first time this season. Jeff Hinkle leads his first lap of the season. Back down the back straightaway they go. Everybody side by side. Nicole Kriesel up 10 spots now, up to 18th. Averaging about one position a lap right now. These guys might want to be a little bit worried. She has been wanting that first win for a long time. She's had so many close calls. Tonight could definitely, she finished third last night. Tonight could definitely be the night for Nicole to get to victory lane. And gotta love some of these new paint schemes we're seeing this season. Jeff Hinkle's new paint scheme is awesome. Harley Barlett. Oh, what was that? Vern Spring off turn 4 just lost it. Manages to hold on to it. Not sure what happened, if he just had too much momentum and had to sling it around. David Garman back 4 spots early on. He is back in 15th now. Newcomer Ian Ogden right behind him. Let's take a lap with the rookie here. Coming out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, can still see the entire field just ahead. Laying back, a lot of drivers talking about laying back and playing it safe early on here, but I'm not seeing a second pack anywhere in the field. Everybody's still within the same pack at the moment. Ian up on the high side though as they come back to the start-finish line, has a bit of a run on William Mann Jr. Will he try and take advantage of it here? So far, the race has been clean. Only one incident that we've seen. That was when Thanos had to duck down. Garmin is going off of turn 2. Garmin has dropped down to the apron. I didn't see Garmin have any problems. He just suddenly ducked down low. Looks like he dropped back to the back, has hooked back up with Richie West, with Brian Oshinska. Richie West, DJ the Iceman Kenner, all back there hanging out for the moment. A lot of the back part of the field single file, and a lot of drivers side by side. A lot of drivers sliding down to the apron. Oh, I believe that was newcomer Ian Ogden on the apron that just got a little too low. Back up front, Hinkle continues to lead. Harley Barletta in second. His help from behind, Vern Spring, has given a fallen back off just a little bit. He'll close back up, but and Vern is a little bobble going into turn 1. Greg McDaniel up there as well. Hey, good evening, Russell. How's it going, buddy? Couple of drivers continue to pick up one spot here, one spot there. Eric Stoy and AJ Godsey still nose to tail on the bottom in the matching IROC cars. You know, it is worth mentioning, now that I know Russell Worth is watching, look, the most famous, most stalwart Ford driver in this field, in BRR, is way back in 19th place. He fell off the pace earlier. He's back in line, but this is what happens when you drive a Ford. The top 11 cars are all Chevys. Just saying. In fact, the first Ford in the field is currently back in 14th place. That's Chris Parker. Garmin in 19th, and those are the only two Fords in the field. Down the back straightaway once again. That outside line has obviously found some momentum. Holy cow! What a move by Vern Spring to get down to the bottom. Cuts Jeff Hinkle off. Almost a crash. But Harley Barletta and Vern Spring take 1 and 2 now. Hinkle had an amazing save there, but now is stuck in the middle. 3 wide. He is in the sucker hole. He's going backwards. Now it's getting racy up front. Mark Nelson jumps up to the high side. It looks like Hinkle's in it, but chaos behind as the 75 drops back. Aaron Mason got stuck in the sucker hole. Things got very exciting very quickly here at Daytona. Aaron manages to get back in line. Everybody settles back into the rhythm for the moment. It looks like a couple of drivers wisely backed out of it, went back to the back, and have kind of fallen off the lead pack just a little bit, trying to play it safe. DJ the Iceman Kenner there in the 32 is the last one. It does look like Richie West in Ecto 1 is going to pull back up to the pack. He was one of the drivers that backed off briefly. I knew you'd like that, Russell. Skyler, we almost got it, but now Harley Barletta in the lead. It looks like Vern got moved up top, and now AJ Godsey and Eric Stoy are the second and third car in line on the bottom. AJ said we could expect to see that Crown Royal IROC car several times this season. That is his favorite car. Oh, Eric, easy, buddy. That was his favorite car Eric has painted for him so far. A couple of close calls with the wall there on corner entry. Looked like the two-car Matt Johnston might have gotten a little bit close there. Not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but we'll take a look at it as he comes around. I didn't see anything, although he was flying by. Harley Barletta has been in contention for the BRR Championship more than once the last 2 seasons. He has been in the fight down to the last race. Can he get it done this season? Massive push from AJ Godsey here. Vern Spring, who helped Harley get up to the lead, now stuck up on the high side, has Mark Nelson pushing. Looking back through the field, some of the top contenders hanging out towards the back. Brian Oshinska, Gerald Thanospool, both playing it safe out back. Nicole Kriesel has backed out of it. She's decided to play it safe for a little bit. Just over a fourth of the way through the race, and honestly, that might have been the wisest move right now, as racy and as chaotic as it got up front there for a bit. Oh, Gorman! Looks like Gorman had some sort of an issue. Not sure what happened. A sudden bobble. He almost wrecked it. Brandon Springer had to get evasive. Let's see if we can see what happened with Brandon. Brandon up toward the front. Looks like he just had a bit of a run, but jumped down to the apron. I know Russell's saying he could get in his Ford, get up there and show you how it's done, but can a Ford get to the front? That's the question. These Xfinity cars, as we mentioned, not as much downforce as the Cup cars. Not as planted as the Cup car. A bit of a handful at times, as we've seen. Tire wear will be an issue this season, but for the first time, tire wear might be an issue here at Daytona. Not so. Oh, there comes a big one. They are piled up like crazy. Half the field is caught. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Matt Johnston is totaled. Let's see if we can figure out where this started at. Looks like AJ Godsey might have been involved. Let's back. It looks like AJ got a little bit of the apron, comes up into Eric Stoy, and then they pile up at the front. The rest of the field literally has nowhere to go. Several drivers managed to come through it, just by stopping. There's Mark Dantuma caught up in it. Eric Stoy is caught in it. Kevin Reed, William Mann Jr., David Garman. Let's take a look at Greg Let's see if we can get a close-up on Greg. There's Greg up top in the 30. He was really stuck. It happens right in front of him. Eric Stoy ends up in the wall in front, and then he gets hit again. Greg McDaniel might have taken the most hits in that incident. Everybody on pit road as we are working the first caution of the night at lap 25. And wow, what a caution. A lot of drivers will have to use their repair on this one, including Kevin Reed, who is trying to limp that car back to pit road. The race off pit road has begun with Harley Barletta pulling out first. Hey Greg, this is Doug. You got me?
Welcome back, Doug. Happy New Year. How you doing?
Man, I have to say, after watching the replay, are you okay?
I got a little bit of a headache, but other than that, I'm all right.
It looked like you took more hits than anybody else in that accident. It looked like a rough one.
Yeah, there were wreckers all around me. I just kept bumping into car after car after car. So I'm gonna ride around in the back here now, and I'm sure we'll see a few more of those and try to survive till the end.
Well, it's glad to hear your good spirits. That was definitely a wild one, but you had a great run going so far. Can you get back to the front when it counts?
I don't know. It's really everybody's commenting that you're kind of stuck where you're at. So I'm going to conserve my car and stay here in the back because I think that's going to happen a couple more times. These cars kind of want to float around and stuff, so I think there's going to be some more contact and incidents before we're done.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Greg McDaniel in the 30 car, back in 9th place after the stop. Lights already out on the pace car. Harley Barletta will lead him down. Vern Spring in second. Jeff Hinkle in third. Mark Nelson in fourth. Eric Stoy in fifth. Aaron Mason sixth. Kyle Holden, Mike Smith, Greg McDaniel, Chris Parker rounding out the top 10. Looks like Vern Spring might have connectivity issues here. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Pace car leading him around. All right, pace car getting ready to drop in. Harley Barletta controls the restart. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. They are down and away. Harley gets a good jump, a little bit of a push from Jeff Hinkle now as Vern Spring really starting to blink. Not exactly the track you want to have a guy at the front line blinking at. But Vern holding the lead right now. He's got Mark Nelson giving a big push. A really big push down the back straightaway. Vern Spring going to the lead for the first time tonight. I do believe this will be Vern Spring's first time leading a BRR competition. Down through the tri-oval, Vern has the lead. His first lap led in BRR competition. Congratulations. I guess we should ask the obvious question. After that big incident, so many drivers being caught, is race control okay? Let's find out. Hey, Topher, it's Doug. You got me?
Hello, Doug.
Hello. So a big one in turns 3 and 4. Were you caught in that incident?
Unfortunately, I managed to skate through that one without incident.
Well, you'd think race control would be a safe place, but with you up there, it's unknown.
Yeah, it's there was a wheel did go flying by, so it happens.
Did you sing Darrell Waltrip's favorite song?
No.
Well, next time we fully expect your rendition of it. All right.
Okay, careful what you wish for.
All right, have fun, bud.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, Topher obviously having a good time with his race control duties here, and it's got to be a lot of fun up there. You see a second pack has fallen off the back. That is by design. Let's see where this second pack really begins. It looks like Greg McDaniel, AJ Gotze are the first two cars in the second pack. It looks like a little bit bigger split. The top 17 pretty much still in the lead pack. Speaking of the top 17, look who is continuing her march toward the front. Now up to 16th place, Nicole Kriesel is on the move. It is still Harley Barletta and Vern Spring up front. It is still too wide at the front. A small group broke off the back, but it looks like Greg McDaniel and AJ Gotze have run back up. Kevin Reed in 20th, really leading the second pack. He's got Rick Sargent, Mark Dantuma, Matt Johnson, William Mann Jr., Gerald Thanos Poole, and Garmy in the... Garmy now one lap down. He is in the lead pack, but he is a lap down. That could be a problem. Jason Roma is always cheering on Topher, who's in race control, but Topher has not been caught up in a wreck in race control, so we have a win there, Jason. As you heard, during the caution, these cars floating around a lot of drivers expecting more chaos before this race is out. And it looks like this second pack, what in the world? Richie West has been bump drafted a bit hard, obviously, as there's a bit of damage to the back of Ecto 1. But it now looks like from 12th place on back has just backed off the pace a little bit. Meanwhile, Nicole Kriesel has Brian Oshinska right in front to help her out. DJ Kenner right behind to give her a push. She could have two of the best on super speedways right there with her, helping her run to the front. Vern Springs still leading, has led for the first time in his BRR career here tonight. Harley Barletta up on the high side, still has Hinkle giving him a push. Kyle Holden right there with him. Kyle really has snuck his way. He has been in and out of the top 10 most of the night, hovering around 10th place, now working his way forward. Newcomer Ian Ogden also up there now in the top 10. William Mann Sr. has made his way from 25th up to 10th now, right at the back of that lead pack. Having watched him race Talladega the other night, I can promise you, don't count that driver out yet. The lead group still has Vern Spring, Harley Barletta, Mark Nelson, Jeff Hinkle, Kyle Holden, Aaron Mason, Jared Heasley up there. Chris Parker, it looks like the second group is starting to close back in as well. William Mann in 9th, Ian Ogden in 10th. Brandon Springer in 11th, Richie West now in 12th. Eric Stoy back up into 13th. Mike Smith in 14th. Brian Oshinska is 15th. Nicole Kriesel in 16th. DJ the Iceman Kenner in 17th. AJ Godsey back in 18th. AJ is off the pace. Out of the draft, damaged front end, off the pace right now. He needs a caution badly. Kevin Reed back in 19th, pulling that group back towards AJ. Hopefully AJ can get hooked on and get some momentum. Rick Sargent in 20th. Mark Dantuma 21st. William Mann Jr. 22nd. Greg McDaniel 23rd, missing the back cover on his car. Matt Johnston in 24th. David Garman now a lap down in 25th. Gerald Thanos Poole has lost a lap. He is back in 26th. Austin Habel in 27th. Topher in race control. Bit of a surprise to see some of these drivers already a lap down. AJ Godsey is on pit road. And it looks like AJ might be done for the night. As a lap car now comes into play for the leaders. Vern Springs still up at the front. I do believe AJ, getting word from race control, AJ, looks like AJ is out of the event. Bit of a hard break. Last season's champion, looking to win his second championship this season, has to go home early at Daytona. And halfway this time by. Are we starting to see some movement up front? No, it looked like Kyle Holden was thinking about making a move up the middle, didn't go for it yet. These cars with the lower downforce, they do move around a lot, but you can build up more momentum, get a run on somebody, and make a pass in the draft. Slingshot by as it was intended. However, we haven't seen very many drivers make a charge to the front through the draft, although several of these drivers exceptionally good at getting that done. Although surprising to see, not every car involved in that first caution got fully repaired, saving that repair for later in the race. And it looks like we've got some drivers trying to make it 3 wide up front again. Kyle Holden has managed to get by Jeff Hinkle. Oh, the 75 having a little moment there. Caught a little bit of the apron. Now Kyle Holden looking right behind Harley Barletta, looking for a way into the lead. Nicole Creasel, as we mentioned, has already gained 12 spots in this race. Look for her to come on in this second half, come toward the front. Finished third in the trucks last night, looking for her first BRR win. We've known for a while it would come at Daytona or Talladega, hoping tonight is the night. Brian Oshinska has helped her move forward the whole race. Looks like she does have some damage on the back of the car. DJ Kenner helping keep her in the draft. Looks like she's got some front end. The car has some front end damage. And the whole pack still together. Did have a second pack broke off. There is a second pack from 18th on back. Kevin Reed, Rick Sargent, Mark Dantuma, William Mann Jr., Greg McDaniel. Matt Johnston still heavily damaged and way off the pace. Things are getting exciting up front again. Harley Barletta has reclaimed the lead, but Kyle Holden in second place. I don't expect him to be there for very long. Kyle is looking for a way to the front. Everybody was on pit road at lap 25. Tire wear will become a bit of an issue. We may see some green flag pit stops in this race yet. Lap traffic about to become an issue again for the drivers up front. Matt Johnson stays up on the wall. Everybody squeaks by clean. Jared Heasley now up in 5th place after starting at 22nd. He managed to avoid everything in that first incident, has raced his way up into the top 5. Jared made it into the playoffs last season, but was eliminated in the second round, looking for a shot at his first BRR title here. Oh, Gerald Poole going a lap down up in the wall. I think he might have caught the wall as he let the leaders by. Trying to maintain the draft. Gerald was the winner last night in the Truck Series. Obviously struggling here tonight. Bit of a surprise against Sketchy back there. Cars moving around a lot more as tires are wearing down. Especially coming off the turn, seeing a lot of guys making some aggressive moves and occasionally aggressive saves. Joe, he would either pass or fail that depending on how you want to test. I have heard that Gerald needs some new sponsorship for this season, though. Harley Barletta out front. Kyle Holden in second. Vern Spring in third. Mark Nelson fourth. Aaron Mason in fifth. Chris Parker sixth. William Mann Sr. now up into seventh. We've got a car in the wall. Trying to see who that was up in the wall. Looks like it was one of the lap cars. Austin Habel, who has had a little bit of a connection difficulty tonight, also heavily damaged. Looks like he was just trying to let the leaders go by. That makes sense. He did say, Gerald did say in one of his pre-race comments that he had to go get a refill, so I'm sure he's added on to that. Mark Nelson has some help up top and is suddenly making his way forward. Chris Parker has given him an epic push. Can those two come by on the high side all alone? They have had a massive run since coming down the back straightaway. No help up top, but Nelson, I believe Mark Nelson led that lap. Now, will they get some help up top? Nobody jumping up there. Oh, Garmy's headed up the... Garmin not on the lead lap, but he is in position for the lucky dog. Nelson trying to get a little bit of a side draft there, coming down the back straightaway into turn 3. That second group just playing it safe, single file. Nicole Kriesel, DJ Kenner at the back, then Mike Smith up there, Eric Stoy, Richie West, Ian Ogden, and Brandon Springer. Jeff Hinkle has dropped back after up there battling for the lead. Looks like Jared Heasley has backed out as well. He was as high as 5th there for a few moments. Easily another one exceptionally good at Daytona and Talladega. Even occasionally goes by the nickname Ricky Bobby. Oh, we've got a wreck on the front straightaway. Caution is out. Vern Spring, David Garman involved. Let's see if we can watch Vern Spring here and see what happened. Garmin on the high side, Vern down on the bottom. The 19 ducks to the low side. Oh, Vern just comes up. Didn't know Garmin was there. Everybody gets down to the apron and manages to avoid it. One going through the grass. That was, looks like Eric Stoy went through the grass. I think that was Brian Oshinska that really drove it through the grass. Yes, it was. Looking to see if he has any significant damage from that. Nope, he is good to go. Harley Barletta up front again. And apparently a high level of netcode involved. And now that I know Gerald's mom is watching, there he goes. It looks like he does have some damage, but hopefully he'll be able to get that repaired, get back on the lead lap after winning here last night in the Truck Series. Hopefully Gerald Thanos Poole will get back into victory lane tonight. All the drivers come to pit road. Gonna see if we can get a word with Harley Barletta. Hey Harley, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Burns?
Hey, you've been up there at the front all night. When it comes down to the end of this, can you hold them off?
If I can get Kyle Holden behind me, then I can hold them off. Yes.
So it sounds like there might be a little teamwork between you and Kyle.
I mean, we just hooked up there at the end of that run, so I'm going to be looking for him, though, definitely.
Well, you guys have definitely had a fast run up at the front. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Harley Barletta has led the most laps so far. Gerald Poole on his way back off pit road. The car looks fully repaired. I know he's got the biggest fan club tonight. Hey Thanos, it's Doug. You got me?
10-4.
Hey, it looks like the car is back in good shape. You just need a little luck to get back to the lead lap, and can you get it back to victory lane?
Hey, you know, I'm just going to go out and race this thing for what it's worth and see what happens and kind of be happy. I'm still celebrating from last night, so yeah, I'm probably not the best shape to be running this one. But hey, got a new car and let's get after it.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Hopefully you can get back to victory lane, make it 2 in a row.
10-4, buddy. Thanks for all you do.
Gerald still celebrating a Daytona win last night. All right, as they stack back, they stack back up for the restart. Joe, yeah, I kind of thought so too. Harley Barletta and Kyle Holden, you heard Harley say he is hoping to get him and Holden hooked up and continue to dominate this race. But Aaron Mason, Mark Nelson on the second row, Jeff Hinkle and Jared Easley now in the third row. Chris Parker, Brandon Springer, Eric Stoy, and Richie West rounding out the top 10. William Mann Jr. and William Mann Sr. back together again, back in 19th and 20th. But that's what she said is currently in 18th or 19th place. Look for her to now make her charge towards the front. All right, getting ready for the pace car to drop back in. Harley will control the restart. Look for him to jump out front and get to the bottom. Green flag is in the air. He is going to try and get connected with Kyle Holden before they get to turn one. He does. He's down to the bottom. Mark Nelson alone up top, but Jeff Hinkle not far behind will get to him. Through 1 and 2, and look at this. An unusual situation. Somebody must have missed a shift. The pack is already split into two quickly. Brandon Springer in the middle. Brandon Springer back in line. Looks like he bridged the gap between the two groups. Now getting hooked up to Jeff Hinkle. Ecto 1, Richie West leading him around. Richie getting his first BRR win at Vegas last season. Looking to repeat here at Daytona. Harley Barletta out front. As Kyle Holden and now Aaron Mason in line with him. Jared Heasley has hopped down to the bottom line as well. Mark Nelson up top, that outside line starting to form up a little bit better. Mark Nelson now has help from Chris Parker. And Jeff Hinkle up there too. Kevin Reed back on the lead lap, starting to make his way forward. Vern Spring also making his way back toward the front. And the Iceman DJ Kenner is starting to charge forward. 22 laps to go. Expect a little bit of patience here for the next 10 to 12 laps, and then all the craziness happens. We might have to check in with Topher with about 15 to go just to see how, let's say, prepared as he is for the final laps. See if he's having as much fun as Thanos is. Vern Spring really coming alive here. He had the fastest lap of the race a moment ago. Actually, here's an interesting fact. Vern Spring is the only caution. No. Nicole Kriesel and a big one right in front of her. Trying to see where exactly this one started at. Oh, Greg McDaniel gets together with William Mann Sr. Nicole Kriesel, Brian Oshinska, several others have nowhere to go. Caution is out again. Nicole has not used her repair yet, so she'll get to get that car fixed, get back out on track. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver of Ecto 1. Hey, Richie, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, Doug, I got you. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I know in the past you've had a few close calls with wins here at Daytona and Talladega. Can you get up there and get it done tonight?
Yeah, I think I can. I got to come in and get my fast repair. I didn't do it under the last caution, and I didn't think it was hurting me, but I wasn't able to suck up there, so I had to sacrifice my spots and come in and get it. So I don't think we're done wrecking, though, so.
It is very unlikely that you're done wrecking. I have to ask, you're driving the Ecto 1 tonight. Do you have any ghost power in there, getting a little extra juice?
Well, I don't know if I have that, but I can tell you what I do got. I got a proton fire, ghost fighter, and I will blast people out of the way if I have to.
Awesome. Good luck. I hope that helps, buddy.
10-4. Thanks, Doug.
Obviously, everybody having a good laugh. Daytona, you start the season at Daytona because it doesn't really matter how it comes out unless you're the winner. But everybody has a great time, and obviously everybody is having a fun time in the race tonight as well. See if we can get a quick word with Kyle Holden. Hey, Kyle, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's going on?
Hey, man. Harley said if he could get hooked up with you, you guys might be unstoppable. Now you two have been hooked up for a few laps. Can you guys hold everybody else off?
I'm hoping so. That outside lane gets quite a bit of a run if they can get hooked up together. So we'll see what we can do, but I'm hoping we can just hold them off till the end here.
If it comes down to the last lap, do you move the 81 out of your way for the win?
I'm not going to move them, but I'm going to go for it. We'll see what happens, though.
Just rattle his cage. Nobody will mind. It's Harley.
Yeah, right.
and when you hit him, you have to make sure you say Jar Jar sucks at the same time. He'll know where it comes from.
All right, roger that. We'll do.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks.
All right, Kyle Holden, Harley Barletta on the front row. Harley looking to pull the same trick on the restart. Will Mark Nelson catch it and go with him? Oh, I might have to get one get myself a drink after this one. I do have a nice bottle of scotch sitting in the other room. So, yeah, you never know. But I'm technically on call tonight, so. All right, we are going to restart with about 17 laps to go. 23 cars on the lead lap. Next caution, we'll see Gerald Thanospool get a wave around as they run right now. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. It'll be 17 to go at the line. Harley gets a good jump. Can he slide down? Yes, he does. Mark Nelson was anticipating the move. He is already moving forward, and he's got some help. Chris Parker is up there with him. DJ the Iceman Kenner up there on the high line as well. The bottom line has a huge run out of turn 2, but that top line tends to have all the speed down the back straightaway. Everybody sitting patiently in line for the moment as they come back around. Nicole Kriesel at the back of the pack, trying to get pulled back up into the fight. Kevin Reed looking like he was going to stick the nose in and make it 3 wide. Nicole Creasel still a little bit off the back of the pack. William Mann Sr. also a little bit back off. Neither car, well, looks like Senior has a little bit of damage. Nicole still has some damage not fully repaired. Nicole's chances could be coming to a close here, unfortunately, as I know a lot of folks really want to see her in victory lane, especially after so many close calls. 15 laps to go. I said I was going to talk to him. Let's bring the race control back in here. Hey, Topher, it's Doug. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Doug. What's new?
Well, we're closing in at the end of this race, and you're in race control. How are you feeling right now?
I'm pretty wonderful, thank you. How are you?
Do you think the cautions are over yet?
Honestly, so I reviewed both of them, and they were both caused by netcode in the exact same spot on the track, the exact same way. So probably not.
Well, we almost saw it a moment ago as Aaron Mason has a problem coming off turn 4. So knowing that there's some netcode, did you give the drivers any warning or suggestions here, or are they just sending it?
They're still just sending it, and that's fine. I mean, it's Daytona. What are we really going to do?
They're 5 wide on the back straightaway.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy at the moment.
Good luck. I think you're going to need it, buddy.
Yeah, have fun. Save your voice.
Yeah, I'll try.
Thanks, Doug.
Oh my goodness, it has started to pop off here. Down the front straightaway, the top, I don't know, 10 are single file at the moment. Let's see. They all went single file for a moment, but they were 5 wide off turn 2 just a lap ago as drivers really starting to send it toward the front. Everybody's going for it. William Mann Jr. making a move on the bottom. Newcomer Ian Ogden up to 9th. Mark Dantuma started towards the back in 18th. He is already up to 8th. Heasley up into 5th. Ian Ogden makes a power move up to the high side. Looked like Jared was going to hop up and go with him, but not enough momentum there yet. Here comes that outside line. Jared does hop to the high side. The front 4 are single file. Everybody else jockeying for position. I really don't think we have seen the last caution here tonight, the way these guys are going at it. DJ Kenner still lurking outside the top 10, as is Kevin Reed. Brandon Springer is back there. Greg McDaniel. Oh, we've got cars going off out of turn 2. Mike Smith is off track. Let's see what happened. No caution. They clear the track. Looks like somebody tried to make... Oh, Richie gets involved. Somebody got into the left rear on Richie. Now Richie goes off track. Mike manages to save it, but it looks like Ecto 1 might be done. What a heartbreak after just talking to him. He almost had it saved. Goes through the bus stop on the road course. Manages to save it through the grass, through the sand, and get it back on track, but he is out of contention. Greg McDaniel trying to fight his way back up. It is getting dicey. Kevin Reed stuck in the middle. These cars, with the downforce, the limited downforce they have, really can be affected quite a bit by the cars around them. Being stuck in the middle, not a happy feeling. William Mann Jr. on his move toward the front. He is now up to 8th. We've got 10 laps left to go. Junior jumps up to the high side. Hops in line behind Vern Spring, pushing Vern down the back straightaway. Here comes Eric Stoy, involved in that first caution, now making his way back toward the front. Harley Barletta, Kyle Holden, and Chris Parker still hold the top three. Oh, Vern almost gets into another driver. Vern now getting a huge push from Junior toward the front. That bottom line, and Gerald Poole in the middle of that bottom line looking to get back to the lead lap. Oh, here we go. Big wreck on the back straightaway. Who's going to survive? Vern Spring is around. A lot of cars in the grass. Caution. Down the back straightaway, things got hairy. Let's see if we can see where it started. Everybody started getting aggressive. Ian Ogden involved. Oh, it looks like it started up with Kevin Reed. We'll back the replay up and look at Kevin Reed for a moment. It looks like everybody got squirrely off of turn 2. Find a good camera angle here. Oh, it looks like Kevin backed out of it and slid up just a little bit. Vern Spring was there. Kevin Reed goes around and the whole field stacks up behind. Brandon Springer's race ended there as well. Oh, Eric Stoy in midair for a moment. Matt Johnson involved. A lot of drivers had to tow to pit road. Every driver going to pit road. Harley Barletta, Kyle Holden, and Chris Parker all stay out, as does Aaron Mason, Jeff Hinkles. Nope, Jeff does not come to pit road. Jared Heasley, Mark Dantuma, Greg McDaniel all stay out. Brian Oshimska stays out. Nicole Kriesel was not caught in this one. Hopefully she has her fast repair left and can get back up to speed. Let's see if we can talk to the driver of the 32. So far, one of the two biggest movers in the field. Hey, Jared, it's Doug. You got me?
What's going on, Doug?
Hey, it got a little sketchy behind you, but man, you played it safe early in the race, and now you're up into the top 6. Can you get that car to the front?
If I can just find some help. I've been trying to work to the outside and get there, and a couple times I was left and then had to drop back down. But if we can get some help, I think we got a shot at it.
Well, I know that's probably the most beautiful car on track, and I know you occasionally turn into Ricky Bobby, so got any predictions for the end here?
Just hope Harley wrecks out somehow. You know, just get him out of here.
All right, man. Good luck, and if you can get Hinkle to go with you, I know he's been fast toward the front tonight, up top.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Yep.
Jared Heasley back in 6th. Jeff Hinkle now up in 5th. A lot of drivers still on pit road, including Brandon Springer. Gonna try and get a word with Brandon. Hey, Brandon, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Hey, I have to ask the obvious question. Had you had your peanut butter deployment system, could it have kept the car on the ground there?
I don't know. That's a lot of peanut butter to keep that on the ground.
It looked like an exciting ride, but you're still on pit road. Are you going to be able to get back out and turn some laps?
Nah, that's eight minutes of damn required repairs. I'm done.
I hate to hear that, buddy, but good luck with the rest of the season.
All right, see you, Doug.
And if you don't know what the peanut butter deployment system for Brandon Springer was, go back and watch some of the races, the BRR races on our YouTube channel from last season. He always ran a peanut butter paint scheme, and yeah, it looked like it was deploying peanut butter and extra grip to the tires. He also had a cousin in here who was running a jelly paint scheme. That was some entertaining racing and some great jokes too. All right, it looks like we will go green with 5 laps to go. Harley Barletta and Kyle Holden on the front row. Will Kyle hook up with him, or will he try and beat him down and take the lead here? Aaron Mason, Chris Parker, Jared Heasley in the top 5. Jeff Hinkle, Greg McDaniel, Mark Dantuma, Mark Nelson, and Brian Oshinska rounding out the top 10. Nicole Kriesel now up into 12th, but still heavy damage to that car. Green flag is out. Here they go again. Kyle does let Harley ahead. Harley will drop back down to the bottom. Now Aaron Mason leading the top line. Not a lot of help right now. And some heavily damaged cars back in the field. A couple that look like modifieds. Down the back straightaway, everybody single file. Aaron Mason went to the high side, got stuck out alone. Will Jared hop up and help him? Jared looking for some help up on the top. Couple of cars, looks like Greg McDaniel up top looking for some help as well. 4 laps to go. Everybody staying single file to the last possible moment to make their move. They'll get 3 to go next time by as they come down the back straightaway. Every driver out there thinking strategy, how they're going to make it happen. William Mann Jr., I do believe that is who is going to pit road there, heavily damaged. 3 to go. Harley Barletta still in the lead, has dominated the race so far tonight. Kyle Holden in second. Chris Parker in third. Chris has been just quietly hanging out in the top 5 all night long. Started in 15th and just snuck his way up there the first 10-15 laps and has quietly hidden out as here comes Jeff Hinkle up top, and Chris Parker gets into Hinkle into the outside wall. No caution yet. Aaron Mason might have clipped Hinkle. 2 to go. It does look like Aaron Mason tried to get out of the way and ended up clipping Hinkle, going to the outside wall. He may have some damage as well. Both of these drivers slowed down now. It looks like we're down to about 7 cars in this lead pack. Mark Nelson at the back is now going to push Brian Oshinska. Jared Heasley now up in 4th. Can't get up there to get in that top line. Chris Parker up in 3rd. Holden in 2nd. Harley Barletta still holding the lead as they come to the white flag. Last time, here they go. Down toward turn 1, Chris Parker almost looking to the apron. Jared Heasley hops to the high side. He's got Brian with him. Out of turn 2, it's a drag race down the back straightaway. Oh, Brian Oshinska's in the wall. Heasley alone up top. Out of turn 4 they go. Chris Parker tries to make a move. Up to the high side. It won't be enough. Harley Barletta wins at Daytona. Kyle Holden comes home second. Chris Parker comes home third. Mark Dantuma finishing in fourth. Jared Heasley comes home in fifth. Let's see if we can see what happened to Brian Oshinska on the last lap. Just as Oshinska was making a run, it looks like Mark Nelson was trying to bump draft, just a little too much bump, not squared up. All right, let's see if we can get a word with Chris Parker. Actually, it does not appear we have Chris available, so let's see if we can find Kyle Holden. Hey, Kyle, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Doug?
Hey, great finish, first of all. Second of all, why didn't you wreck Harley?
I didn't really have the opportunity there. He was someone on my outside was taking my air out, so just kind of had to stick it in there for the second place.
Well, you two got hooked up, and nobody, no matter how good the run was on the high side, nobody could get past you guys.
Yeah, we had really good working together really well with Harley, so we're just able to hold on to it and get first and second there.
Well, congratulations, man. That was one heck of a race.
Appreciate it, Doug. You have a good one.
All right, let's see if we can find our race winner. Harley Barletta, congratulations on winning the season opener, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Doug. What's up, dude?
Pretty much dominated that once you and Kyle got hooked up, man. Even when the outside line would get a massive run, it just wasn't enough to get past the two of you.
No, we were hooked up real good. I got to thank Kyle for that win, man. If he wasn't there, it would have been dicey, to say the least.
It did get a bit dicey back behind you, but you got to the lead and pretty much just held the bottom line and made them work for it all night. That was quite an effort.
It was super fun, man. Everyone in here did great tonight. We only had 3 or 4 cautions or whatever it was, and there was like 28 people in here. This is fantastic, guys. Everyone.
It was a great race, a great finish for you, and a great start to your season, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Appreciate you.
Hey, by the way, Jar Jar sucks.
Okay, I thought you were going to do Wild West. Thank God.
No, I would never do a thing like wiki wiki wow, wiki wiki wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to
do. See you, buddy.
See you, dude. Thanks.
If you talk to Harley Barletta anytime in the near future, just play the Will Smith Wild Wild West song. He loves it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tonight was an epic season opener. Something we will not soon forget. What an exciting race. Great job by everybody. Congratulations to Harley Barletta on the Cup Series win. Congratulations to Gerald Thanos Poole winning the Truck Series race last night. A great, great start to the BRR season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the Jones BS Racing League All-Star event. You're not going to want to miss that. And if you missed any of the past races here, you can find them on the YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.